supermesh. Is it okay? Is it okay? Because these two meshes, they are sharing a current source, and in the outer loop there are no current source. So meshes 2 and 3, they form a supermesh. Is this okay?
Okay, sir.
So let us form the equations. First equation is about mesh number 1. That is easy. 2 minus 1 into I1 minus 10 I1 minus I2, that is 0.
Recording in progress.
Is it okay? Can we write this? Or 11 I1 minus 10 I2. This is the first equation. Check, is it okay or not?
Yes, sir.
Second, instead of taking the equations for meshes 2 and 3 separately, since they form a super mesh, we can write an equation about the outer loop. Okay. Since 2 and 3 they are forming a super mesh, instead of writing the mesh equation separately, we can write a mesh equation about the outer loop. So how will that look? Minus 10 I2 minus I1 minus 5 I2 minus 15 I3, that is 0, or minus 10 I1 plus 15 I2 plus 15 I3. Check whether we're getting this or not. Check whether you're getting this or not.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What will be the final equation? We have 3 unknowns, so we need to prepare 3 equations. We have got 2 equations. What will be the final equation? What will be the final equation? What is the current
So
flowing through?
KCL.
Yes, KCL. What is the current flowing through this branch? This branch. The current flowing through this branch. I2 is flowing in this way. I3 is flowing in this way.
I2 minus I3.
Equal to, very good, I2 minus I3 equal to, what should we write in the
I1.
No, I1 is here. I1 is far away. What should we write in the right side of the equation?
4.
4.
Why?
Because the current flowing is 4 ampere.
Is this correct?
Minus 4.
Yes, very good. Who said minus 4 and explain why minus?
Sir, because the direction of current 4 ampere is towards I3, and in the equation we have taken I3 as negative, so this will also be negative.
All of you agree? All of you agree with her?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So, 3 questions,
Yes, sir.
3 unknowns. Now we can solve. If you solve it, I1 equal to minus 54 by 23 amps, that is, if you do your scientific calculator from Casio or whatever, there is a feature you can use it, you can solve this equation very easily, very fast. It is 1.2. Check whether getting this or not.
So could you please explain why is it -4
Okay,
in the third equation?
sure, of course. I2 direction is in this way from A to B. Direction of the I2 is from A to B. Is it okay? Direction of I2 is from A to B.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Direction
Yes,
of
sir. Thank
I3
you.
is from B to A.
Yes, sir.
And the 4 amp is also from B to A. So if we are
Okay,
taking
sir.
current flowing from A to B to be positive, then I2 is plus, I3 is flowing in the opposite direction, so it will be minus. That is equal to the current of the current source, which is also flowing from B to A, so it is also minus. Had the direction be like this, then it will be plus. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Any other question?
So what is the significance of taking that as a super mesh?
That makes it really easier, this calculation. Otherwise, how will you solve it? Tell me, how will you form the node equations otherwise? Because the potential difference across this is unknown. It will not be very easy to understand. What is the potential difference across this node? That will be, yes, that will be 15 times I3. Okay, but still. Otherwise, you'll find that writing the, if you try to write the equations of the node equations, sorry, mesh analysis equation for nodes, meshes 2 and 3 separately, you will find taking super mesh is not easy. Because if you want to write the equation separately, it will become something like this, like a conventional method. Minus 10 I2 minus I1 minus, sorry, in this plus 5 I2. Then I'm getting this plus 2 minus. So minus VAB, that is 0. And the problem is that there is no direct voltage current relationship for this VAB. You cannot write it 4 amps multiplied by something. You understand the problem? You can.
Yes, I got it.
Then you have to take this VAB equal to 15 times I3. Okay. But then you have, where will get from where will get 30%? You have to take all also. So you have to take this one. So now you have to write 10 I2 minus I1 plus 5 I2 minus 15 I3, that is 0. Probably it is the same equation, right? See, the same equation you got. And from where you get third equation will also be the same. I2 minus I3 is minus 4 amps. Become the same way. If you take this way, it becomes easier to understand. Otherwise, you have to take things which are not that very simply, you have to consider things which do not follow Ohm's law. For example, this current source. The VI relationship for the current source, it doesn't follow Ohm's law. For the VI relationship of the resistance, they follow Ohm's law. So better to use things Which follow Ohm's law. Okay. Any other question? Any other question, or I close this problem? Any other question from anyone? Okay. You try this problem. If there is any issue, I will help you. I will help you. The problem looks like this. Find the current through the 5 ohm resistor. Okay. This is 50 volt. Ohms, 5 ohms. Sir. Then 3 ohms. Ohms. This is mesh number 1. This is mesh number 2. This is mesh number 1. This is mesh number 2. This is mesh number 3. And the current through the 5 ohm resistors, or this current here.
सर इसमें भी मैच 2 और 3 सुपर मैच फॉर्म करेगा.
Obviously, because they are sharing a current source in between, and there is no current source in the outer loop of the meshes 2 and 3. So they form a super mesh. So that is okay. Next, 2 and 3. Then where to start? Where to start?
Sir, I is 4 ampere.
No, only first. Oh, let me check the answer. 4.67. Now plus or minus depending on the direction you are choosing. So the mod value of I is 4.67. In the direction, yes, if you take this direction, it is minus 4.67. Just check the equations. Just try from the equation for node 1. So mesh 1. 50 minus, just put the correct directions, I1, I2, 50 minus 10, I1 minus I2, minus 5, I1 minus I3, that is 0. So, ten minus 2 I1 minus I2 minus I1 minus I3, that is 0. 3 I1 minus 2 I2 minus I3, that is 10. Getting this equation?
Yes, sir.
Now let us do the outer loop of the super mesh. We start from this point. You can start from any point, okay? No, nothing goes on this point. Start from any point. 10 I2 minus I1 minus 2 I2 minus I3 minus 5 I3 minus I1. That is 0 or
सर वो 10 वाला क्या लिखे है, वो इक्वेशन कैसे आया? 10 minus 2 I1 minus I2 minus I1 minus I3.
I started from this point, plus minus, plus minus, plus minus, plus minus. Check. You can start from any point, doesn't matter. I start from this point, you can start from this point, this point, this point, any point you want. Now that will not change anything. Check. Current flowing through the condition of current.
सर 10 I1 minus I2 होगा ना, 2 I2 होगा ना
No,
बस.
not 10 I1 minus I2. I am saying minus 10 I2 minus I1. एक ही बात हुआ ना?
नहीं समझ आ रहा.
तुम बोल रहे हो 10 I1 minus I2, right? You are saying,
Yes, sir.
or I am saying minus 10 I2 minus I1. They are the same thing.
नहीं सर, हम सुपर मैश के लिए बोल रहे हैं, जो आप पर वो लिखे हैं ना इक्वेशन 50 वाले के लिए.
सुपरमेश के बारे में बोल रहे हैं.
यस सर. सर
यहाँ से स्टार्ट
हाँ,
करते
ठीक है
हो.
सर,
तुम कहाँ
आप-
स्टार्ट किए हो? Which point you have started?
सर 10 से तो
10
10 आप वहां पर बस 10 लिखे हैं, इसीलिए हम बोल रहे हैं.
यहाँ पर 10 I2 minus I1 लिखे है ना?
सर वहां 50 के नीचे
50 के नीचे इसमें
मैस वन सर वो सॉल्व किए क्या?
ये तो इक्वेशन है.
मैस वन में-
मान के लिए ये इक्वेशन है. ये वाला. Oh, that यहाँ पर हम
हाँ.
5 से डिवाइड किए. I divided everything by 5.
ओके सर, सॉरी.
Check. No, wait. That's wait. Minus 10 I2 plus 10 I1 minus 2 I2 minus I3 minus 5 I3 plus I1, that is 0. 15 I1 minus 12 I2 minus 6 I3, that is 0. So I can divide everything by 3. 5 I1, 4 I2, 2 I3. Okay, getting this equation for the super mesh.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
फाइनल इक्वेशन क्या होगा? लास्ट वाला. तीन अननोन है ना, तो तीन इक्वेशन चाहिए. दो इक्वेशन मिला है, तीसरा वाला कहां से है?
I1 plus I2 plus I3 equal
Careful. ध्यान से.
I2 minus I3 is equal to 2.
Very good. I2 is in this direction. I3 is in this direction. So I2 minus I3. So I got three equations, three unknowns, solve it. This is 10 by the way, okay, not 0. Write it properly.
So in this sum, why is the I2 minus I3 equals 2 and not minus 2?
Because I2 is taken in this direction, right to left. I3 is taken from left to right, and the source is also from right to left.
Okay, sir.
Solve it. If you solve it, probably you will get I1 equal to 20 amps, I2 equal to 17.33 amps, and I3 equal to 15.33 amps. Getting this?
सर I1 12 आ रहा है.
Check करो.
नहीं 20 आ रहा है.
सर मेरा I2 तो 16.67 आ रहा है, I1 सेम आ रहा है आपके जैसे.
Answer is matching, sir.
Yes, so I current
Yes,
to
sir.
this will be current to 5 ohm.
15.33.
This I will be simply I3 minus I1. Check the directions. Submit Kumar Jha, he comes at the end. This. So this will be 15.33 minus 20 or minus 12.6.
सर I1 और I2 में इक्वेशन क्या है?
यही तो तीन इक्वेशन है ना जो which I have marked. These are the three equations.
सर उसको सॉल्व करने के बाद दो इक्वेशन आ रहा है. एक आ रहा है 8 minus 3I1 plus 3I2 equals to 0 और एक आ रहा है
So this
5I1 minus
equation I have
6I2.
solved using calculator. Do you have Casio calculators, scientific calculators? Then I think there is an easy way of solving such equations. You will get the answer very easily. Okay, just wait. Just wait.